Hey guys, I am on what I believe is day 6 of our Advent devotionals. I wanted to start us off with a verse, Luke 1:38. This is what it says. Then Mary said, I am the Lord's servant. Let it be with me just as you have said. Then the angel left her. So this is right after an angel meets with Mary, basically explains to her all the things that are about to happen to her. She's about to have God's son. But what I love is in that response is that she says, let it be with me just as you have said. I want exactly what you just said. And that is, even though Mary knows that, right, childbirth in itself is not going to be an easy thing, but on top of that, she has God's son with her. She also is now going to have a really awkward conversation with her, soon-to-be spouse. And on top of that, she's probably going to be ostracized by so many different people in her community that are, to be honest, never really going to believe that this incredible miracle happened, right? But even when there was so much unknown for Mary and what was going to happen next, she trusted God. She said, hey, let it be with me just as you have said. And I think if we're going to be honest, for so many of us through this season, we have lots of unknown looking forward, right? Maybe you have questions about like what this coming month is going to look like and feel like because of maybe changes in your family. Maybe this is a holiday season or one of the first holiday seasons that you're going to have with the loss of a loved one. Maybe there are some family dynamics they're going to make this next month or two really uncomfortable and maybe not the ideal of what you want it to be. And in those moments, just like Mary, we can trust in God and know that this might not be what I had planned, but God, I know you can get me through this. Or maybe, similar to Mary, maybe God is calling you to something new that you don't even know what it looks like yet. And maybe you even feel kind of that pull of like what God is doing, and you're kind of like a little bit like, you're like, yes, I'm kind of interested in that. But you're also on the side of like, I don't want to commit because you're not really sure how it's going to turn out, right? So for us, I think when we look at Mary's story, it's so easy to see, like obviously the full picture, and like we know it was worth it in the end, right? But for us, we can do what Mary did and know that even in this season, it is still always worth it to trust God. Because Mary knew that what God had was so much better than her dragging her feet or her kind of being like, I'm just going to try to do this on my own or do this my way, God. No. She knew that God's way was so much better. So for us, where is God calling you? And are we jumping in, joining him where he is calling us, saying, let it be with me just as you have said, God? Or are we kind of shying back or hiding from what God has for us? Let's be like Mary during this Advent season and trust God to bring us out of our comfort zones to bigger things that he is calling us to.